Yes, I use AI tools to
Mhm.
generate the artwork. Um, and that's becoming a big thing now. I think more and more, in fact, you're going to see more individual creators using AI.
You're watching the Spotlight Network, starring Hollywood's
And if
newsman,
you're just trying to get
Logan
your
Crawford.
investigators, they now believe a single member.
He works with TV and film legends. And now, Logan's shining the spotlight on the world's top emerging authors and creators.
International were abducted.
This is Spotlight with Logan Crawford, streaming on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV.
I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're exploring an epic new comic series that blends spiritual vision, science fiction, and divine power. We're talking with author and creator David Cole. He introduces us to The Lion of God, Issue 1. Q is for Quantum. It is a breathtaking fusion of mythology, multidimensional warfare, and eternal love. It is a bold, cinematic story where the forces of light and darkness collide across time and space, and one hero rises to defend the innocent and reclaim a love lost to the ages. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today, and we ask viewers like you to support authors like him by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing his amazing book. The links are below this interview. David, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thank you so much, Logan, and thank you honestly from the bottom of my heart for your kind words about my book. Honestly, it brought a tear to my eye for real because so and thank you.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Well, all of the accolades you receive, you deserve because this is wonderful work. Let's start out by talking about the inspiration to create The Lion of God.
Well, my inspiration to create the Lion of God basically started in 2021.
Mhm.
Um, up until then, I was 42, and I had lived pretty much a normal life, you could say. And then the pandemic hit, and
Mhm.
it hit all of us differently. But um, I got COVID, and it turned into pneumonia, and then
Mhm.
I ended up going to the hospital. And uh, long story short, um, I did I obviously did make it out of the hospital, but
Mhm.
um, I was very heavily confronted by my mortality in that event. And I experienced something very similar to what many people describe as a near-death experience,
Mhm.
though it took me a few years to really understand that that was what happened. But basically, up until that point in my life, I was very well, I hated God. I didn't
Mhm.
believe honestly that God even existed. Or if he did, he must be evil, was what I thought at the time. And when I had this experience, it was like God came to me and started speaking to me. I had people talk about having like this life review where their life passes before their eyes and all. Yes, I had that. And we talked about it. We talked about things that I was unhappy about in my life, and basically, basically, these were things that I had blamed God for, and
Mhm.
he basically laid it out for me and was like, that really wasn't my fault. The uh, without using too much colorful language, he basically said, it's a harsh world, and it just wasn't your day,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
And that was some real honest truth. And I started to receive a lot more truth after that. My life since then has changed significantly. I feel the presence of the divine all the time, and it's been increasing. So the inspiration of my book is that experience coupled with everything that I have experienced and learned since then, all of the ancient esoteric knowledge that
Mhm.
has found its way to me. So there's a lot of inspiration in this book from the works of people such as Guy Ballard, Samael Aun Weor, and my own personal experience and uh, opinions.
Hmm. Absolutely, absolutely. Talk to us about the title, The Lion of God.
So this is fascinating. So basically, I came up with this title, The Lion of God, when I was reading some of the works of Samael Aun. And for those who may not know who he is, he's not necessarily well known in the continental US, but he was a Gnostic, a Christian Gnostic um, prophet and author, very prolific from the mid 20th century.
Mhm.
And he wrote a lot about this controversial angel who my book is centrally themed around,
Mhm.
Samael. And he describes Samael as the angel of God's judgment, the prosecutor.
Mhm.
So essentially, he said that Jesus was the Lamb of God, the one who protects people from judgment, and Samael is the Lion of God, the
Hmm.
one who carries forth God's judgment. And that's why a lot of times when he's depicted in the ancient texts, he appears to be a bad guy because he's doing things that most people wouldn't want to have done to them because they're being judged by God.
Hmm.
Um, so after reading that's where I got the name The Lion of God.
Gotcha. Gotcha. The artwork is incredible. Are you the creator of that as well? Wow.
Yes, I use AI tools to
Mhm.
generate the artwork. Um, and that's becoming a big thing now. I think more and more, in fact, you're going to see more individual creators using AI.
Mhm.
Um, there's good ways and poor ways to use AI. The
Mhm.
best way to use AI is just as an enhancement to your own creative flow rather than replacing human tasks such as
Mhm.
creativity. You just allow it to take care of the tasks that perhaps are repetitive or
Yeah. Like you
things like
said,
that.
it's a tool, and it's a tool that is out there. It's a tool worth using, and it's a tool that can enhance your own talents. So,
Absolutely.
amen for using it. And the result, the proof is in the pudding, as they say. And your pudding's pretty good because the comic book looks great. Now, this is one of six installments you're planning on right now, right?
Yeah, well, so actually, I do plan an unlimited series, but
Okay.
the first six books are one cohesive story arc.
Hmm. Wonderful. And then you'll eventually compile them perhaps into an anthology?
Absolutely.
Great, great. For the folks at home, give them an overview of this story.
So the first book it's basically an introduction. It tells the story of how I had my near-death experience. It talks about how I experienced astral traveling
Mhm.
as the Archangel Samael. Um, it shows a small encounter that Samael had with these beings in another astral realm, if you will, the children of the Ents, and he protects them from this swamp demon who was harassing them. And this is just kind of showing, just kind of trying to set the tone for the book. This is the kind of stories you can expect to see going forward.
Hmm.
Um, and then it also introduces Lilith, who is Samael's consort and also another very controversial figure, you could say. And I'm happy to talk about her as well.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, tell us
she's
more about
introduced in
her.
the book. Well, Lilith is very complicated.
Hmm.
According to mythology, she was the first woman who was actually created before Adam,
Hmm.
and or not before Adam, before
Before
Eve.
Eve?
Yes, she was
Yeah.
created at the same time as Adam, and she wanted to be treated as an equal, and Adam wouldn't stand for that.
Hmm.
Uh, so Lilith was kicked out of the garden, and eventually she met the archangel Samael, and they became eternal consorts, twin flames to one another.
Hmm.
Um, so that's her story in a very tiny nutshell.
Yeah,
There's
absolutely.
there's obviously a lot more there to flesh out, and actually, I created a short independent film that
Mm,
ties into this as well. It's called Dear Lilith, I Love You. It's
mm,
11 minutes and 33 seconds long, and it's currently screening at the Seoul International Short Film Festival.
very
I've
cool.
won several awards for it already at Indie Fest, Global Shorts Festival, and the New York Tri-State International Film Festival for Best Director, Best Visual Effects, and awards of recognition in AI, experimental film, and women theme film.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's great. Well, congratulations on that. Is that animation or tell us a
Yes,
little bit about that?
yes, that is an animated film.
Hmm.
Um, so it's an animated film, and there's a lot of magic in this film too. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie. Like when people see this film, they're gonna see, oh, this is not normal.
Mm.
So that's why I build it as a horror film, because for people who have not seen something like that before, it might be scary. You're getting a glimpse into the supernatural realm when you watch this film.
Wonderful. And that
Uh,
could be a teaser for a full-length feature film on Lion of God or a TV series or something like that. I'd imagine that's in the back of your head somewhere, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. In fact, my long-term goal for The Lion of God, I would really love to do kind of like a Saturday morning cartoon style animated
Hmm.
series. So that's kind of what I'm working towards at the moment.
That'd be wonderful. I think that'd be very, very enjoyable. Are you working on book two, book three? Where are you now in your
Oh,
progress?
yes. In fact, I have just launched on my shop today a Black Friday bundle
Hmm.
where I've added 7 high resolution, like 8K digital prints, all brand
Hmm.
new. There's a PDF of the first book in there, and also a preview edition of book 2, the first 6
Awesome.
pages. So
And
yes,
that's on your website?
I guess on venomouspress.com.
Okay. Tell us one more time the name of the website.
Venomouspress.com.
Venomous Press, like poisonpress.com.
Yes, sir. The yes, where that name comes from is Samael, means the venom of God, and that's because the venom of God is a bitter drink that is harsh to the ego and
Mhm.
gentle to the soul.
I think that's the drink we all need. That's the elixir we all need. Something that
For
is
sure.
harsh to the ego and gentle to the soul. Before I leave you today, what do you hope readers take away from your comic books? Obviously, they'll be entertained, but is there something that you hope they understand about themselves or about the universe or about anything?
Absolutely. So the primary purpose of my goal or of my book is to teach others that they can embody this same kind of main character energy. They can be the main character of their story. My story is spectacular, and it's out there. It sounds insane, but anyone can have a story like that if they want. I mean, it doesn't have to be insane,
Yeah,
but they can be the main character of their own story. They can have their own connection to the divine within that is just as special as someone who thinks they're an angel or anything.
wonderful, wonderful. Well, the name of the book we've been talking about today is called The Lion of God, Issue One. Q is for Quantum. You're going to want to have this. It's going to be a great collector's edition. You can say you've gotten one of the first editions of The Lion of God. Wonderful, wonderful comic book. It's written and created by David Cole. He is a visionary comic who has provided an epic story that unites faith, love, and the quantum mysteries of the universe. David, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you, Logan.
I appreciate your time, your insight, and the wonderful work you've done on this book. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time.